If you wanna find me, yeah, I'm in the front row. Got my 2 tickets on me, I'm in the front row. It's the best place to be, I'm in the front row. Best place to be, yeah. If you wanna find me, yo, I'm in the front row. Got my 2 tickets on me, I'm in the front row. The best place to be, I'm in the front row. Best place to be, yeah. So what's colder than ice and even hotter than a flame?
Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of Zona Central Sports Talk, the XX perspective on Arizona Wildcat sports. As you can imagine, the XX represents women. So there's not many sports talk shows where 2 women are talking about sports, especially when it comes to Tucson, Arizona. So I'd like to introduce you. My name is Shireen Ryan. And I'd like to introduce you to Lori Burkhart, my co-host.
Hi, everybody. It's great to be here with you and with Shireen and bringing you our perspective on sports. As Shireen said, it's always nice to see the women's side of sports and how we perceive things as they go. But also, I think that as sports evolve and as women's sports become more in the forefront, I guess, mainstream in the forefront is the word I was looking for. I feel like so should we, as hosts of sports shows, become more involved. And I think this is a great opportunity for us.
And our angle is we're not going to be a TMZ talk show where we're going to try to, break news and all that. We really support, we're both moms and we both have fur babies. So we're real like gentle souls who, we really support the coaches and the teams and especially the student athletes. And so you're not going to hear trash talking on this I don't know what we call it, video episodes on this show.
We're going to have a show.
Yeah. So anyway, we'd like to start out talking about softball because softball had some big major announcements this week. Coach Candrea stepped down as head coach and his assistant coach was named head coach, and he's going to be sticking around. So you want to tell us a little more about that, Lori?
Sure. Coach Candrea has been at Arizona for 36 years. What a legacy he's leaving. And the All-Americans and the World Series championships and, trophies and just what he has done for softball in general, bringing it so that it's more mainstream. There's so many little girls out there that now are so excited about softball. And Coach Candrea, he was at the beginning of that. He really helped push that. And there was obviously a succession plan in place because Coach Candrea announced his retirement, and I would say hours later it was announced. Yeah, it was announced that Caitlin Lowe was going to be the new head coach of Arizona softball. And Caitlin has actually been the assistant head coach to Coach Candrea for the last 4 years. She was a 4-time first team All-American, 2-time national champion and all WCWS performer, an Olympic silver medalist, a USSSA Pride Hall of Famer. And she's just, what she's brought to this team in the last 4 years has definitely shined. And I know that Coach Candrea has all of the faith in the world in Caitlin to take this program into the next 10 years, hopefully. I mean, hopefully we'll get 36 out of her if she does a good job, but at least, into the future. And then
get some more camera time at least.
Exactly. Yes.
The pitching coach and Coach Candrea.
She's definitely been in the background, but the players have a good relationship with her, and so that, I think, keeping that continuity, keeping those players that came here for Coach Kendrea on the team, I think that's going to be a big piece of this for Coach Lowe.
And you probably can't keep Coach Kendrea away.
No, well, and that's the good news.
Around,
Right. Yeah, no, that's the good news. And I just read where he has agreed to stay on as kind of the mentor for the team. He'll stay in the background, but he'll be there to help Coach Lowe and kind of help direct the program still. And watching his his press conference today, it really, well, first of all, it was sad, but yet exciting for him too, because he's really looking forward to his next steps.
Right.
But what he said, and I can't quote him, but I'll give a little bit of it. What he said is he really wants to spend his time helping and progressing women's softball at the NCAA level, at the national level, so that they are treated equally, just like baseball is, and just like other sports are.
I love it.
I think I saw that he said that for I think it was the regionals, baseball, I mean, this is a small thing, but baseball had 44 dozen baseballs, allotted them, and softball had 8 dozen. So, yeah, so, that's just a little thing, but it's one of a bunch of other things that he's really going to start pushing to get some equality in. And that's a great thing.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I don't know if I'm right or wrong on this, but I thought softball was back in the Olympics. Like they got rid of it, but I thought they put it back in the Olympics.
The last Olympics, they did have it back in. I haven't heard about this Olympics, but
I know this Olympics is going to happen.
I know, that's true. Good old COVID.
But I know there was a pro softball league too for women, right?
Yep, there is. Yeah.
And there's plenty of men. Like one of the writers of Zona Zealots, one of my co-writers over there, Keith. I think his name's Keith or Kevin, one of the two. Is really big on softball.
Yeah.
Softball's big in Tucson. So, the men are into it too. And they have a lot of fans.
Yeah, they do.
Just to talk a little bit about the game, the last game, my opinion was I was confused why we were bunting the entire last half of that inning when our bats got us there. When it wasn't working, maybe it should have, it's my only thing. It's like I was hoping they'd swing away, and it didn't seem to be part of the plan. But
yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, who am I to second guess a 36-year head coach? But yeah, I was a little confused with the game plan at that point. But you
were so close. They were
so close. So close. It was almost like that all year though for them. It's like they would get on a really good streak, a winning streak, and then something would, like the offense would tank.
Something would happen.
And then all of a sudden they couldn't get bat to ball and they'd lose, and it was just kind of a confusing season.
Yeah.
Lots of seniors. What was it? 6 seniors? I'm off the top of my head. I think
he's retiring. If his 6 seniors are retiring and he are leaving, and they were the ones who got them there, Yeah. I know the season started slow, but then they started to get momentum and stuff, which leads us to baseball.
Baseball.
Super regionals.
My passion.
I have so much fun watching those baseball games. I live in LA and Lori lives in Tucson. I can't go to the games, but I remember when I am in Tucson, I always go to see the games. And because a couple of years ago, I was really into the team that went all the way to the World Series and almost won in the last out. Like, I think the umpire made a mistake. I'll still stand by my word on that it was not an out, and it changed the whole game. But yeah, where they have those music videos and the dugout was hilarious. Now, I'm not seeing a lot of that right now.
They had so much. That team had so much fun.
They were hilarious.
They were hilarious.
They were watching.
You know, though, it's so funny because that team was so loose, right? I mean, they were they always had fun. They never seemed stressed. They were so loose. And I actually went to Saturday's regional game. And I noticed that I was seeing that with this team. They never, ever looked stressed. They never looked nervous. They were loose. They were having fun. It was really good to see that again.
And it's exciting baseball. It's exciting baseball. They kept it close, and then Santa Barbara would come back, and then they planned to play them again, and then Santa Barbara came in the 8th inning, and I was like, oh, no.
I think in the final, so Arizona swept the regionals.
Right.
And so Santa Barbara had to win on Sunday to force another game on Monday, but Arizona did win. But
right?
What's that?
You have to lose twice. It's double.
Yes, you have to lose twice. Yep. And Arizona hadn't lost at all.
Right.
And UC Santa Barbara had lost one. Right. So if they would have won that game on Sunday, we would have had another game on Monday. There would
be another one, right?
Yeah. But it was funny because, even though I got nervous on Sunday, even though I was like, oh no,
I know.
Santa Barbara started coming back, and I was like, oh my gosh, no. But if you looked at the field, if you looked at the players, they were good. They knew exactly what they were doing. And I think that we went through 6 pitchers that game.
When it's funny because the game before that there was almost a shutout.
Yeah.
They did get a base hit in the end. Almost a no-hitter.
No-hitter, yeah.
Yeah.
So Garrett Irvin, Garrett Irvin, I can't say his last name because I'm obviously can't speak English, I guess. But Garrett, he pitched a complete game. So he pitched all 9 innings. And that's pretty amazing.
Yes, amazing.
At that level. And it was really funny because
the hit was on an error. The hit was on an error too.
Yep. And it was funny because after that game, the whole team, everybody started the hashtag Gary, and it started trending, and it was great. And you had to feel good for that kid, and you had to feel good for that. Yeah, and you had to feel good. I know. It was awesome. But
the shortstop's a freshman, right? The shortstop.
Yes. Yeah. Well, they've got amazing talent on there now.
Amazing. I couldn't believe it. Like, he'd stop balls. He knew what to do. He always made the right decision for the most part. And then when he got up to bat, he knew I was very impressed with him.
Yeah. That whole team is amazing. And it just came out today too that first the super regional start, and Arizona is
what time?
Okay, so that's what I'm gonna give you right now.
What's the next step for us?
Super regional start this weekend, and Arizona gets to host. So we're back at High Corbett, or as the players like to call it, the Deuce Box.
Yeah,
because they call it High C. And so the players are calling it High Corbett. So Friday's game starts at 6, and they're going to be playing Ole Miss. Ole Miss had to go to game 7 to get here. So they'll be playing Ole Miss, and it's a best 2 out of 3. So the first game is Friday at 6. The second game is Saturday at 7. And then an if necessary game is Sunday at 6. We're going to hope there's not an if necessary game.
Yeah, we're going to hope. And so when I was looking at Twitter, I saw so many Ole Miss fans commenting on tweets that were like generic from college baseball. I didn't see any Arizona fans. So Arizona fans, you got to up your game right now. Ole Miss fans are all over this.
Hey, they stormed the field, or something.
I know. Like, wait, they don't have any restrictions, right? We need to sell that place out?
We're at 100% capacity. We are able to have 100% capacity, and absolutely, we need every fan in Tucson buying a ticket for this weekend to support that team. What an atmosphere. High Corbett, it really is one of the premier baseball parks in the country. And there are no sunsets that will even compare to the sunsets that hit High Corbett.
Not at all. Gorgeous.
It's a great night of baseball. It's the weather at 6, 7 o'clock. It's starting to cool down. It's pleasant. I will say that I sure hope the concessions are a little bit better. It was like cold hot dog, warm Coke, but it's okay. Like I told Mike Love, I said, you know what? I sat down and I ate my cold hot dog and I drank my warm Coke, and I was dang glad to be there because I was watching live baseball at High Corbett again. It was so great to be back.
Oh, I'm so glad you went. And also, a little tip: try to sit near the dugout where the parents of the players are.
Yeah,
because the parents know all the nicknames, and there's always some like parent that's telling you everything about, much more than we'd ever know.
Exactly.
So I have the most fun sitting next to the dugout and next to the parents, because you'll hear all the parents talking, and they all know the players, and they have nicknames for each one of them, and then you can hear what they say in the dugout, and that's a lot of fun. So
it is fun. Well, I have to tell you that was the first game in 4 years that I've actually been with the general public, because I'm usually up in the press box.
Oh,
so it was really fun. Yeah, what was fun is, as you know, when you're up in the press box, there's, you can't cheer, you can't do any of that. And so it was really fun to be with the general public again and be able to cheer and stand and do the fight song and just be a fan again, and that was really fun. I did miss the press box. I miss the views from the press box.
Yeah. Beautiful.
But it was nice to not have to write and watch a game at the same time. I could just watch. That was fun.
And that's something you and I have in common. I get to go to the football press box to work for IMG Sports Network. So I think it's USC this year. So during the USC game, I get to spot for to Brian, and it's so much fun to be there. We're shoulder by shoulder. But yeah, to give everybody an idea, Lori and I have talked about this. You can't cheer. So,
not even a whoop.
So you kind of bang the table, and you're like you're signaling to your fellow media people, and everybody's gritting their teeth like.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard when you're writing, and as you know, you have to write, like you're not a fan. So you have to write from the perspective that the audience needs to read what is actually happening there, not everything Arizona. So you're talking about the other team, and you're talking about plays, and you're talking about stats, and but the fan part of you is still wanting your team to win and getting excited when great plays happen. So, and you just have to kind of muffle that.
So I'm at home listening to Roxy Bernstein. I think it's Roxy Bernstein.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know many Roxys in media, so so listening to him talk. So I get to, when it gets boring, they have to, they focus. I don't know if you know this, but they focus in behind home plate, and there's usually some kids dancing, and they'll talk about that for a whole inning. So
that was really cute.
I have to turn on Brian
I know it's true.
It's not,
Brian does such a great job. He does. Yeah, the last game, they talked about the two little girls that were behind home plate dancing and doing the thing, which is extremely adorable.
Yeah.
But when you're into the game, you're like, come on.
We're into the game, for crying out loud. I want to know a little more too about their tradition. When somebody gets a home run, they go into the dugout. I think they have a little tradition going on, but they always pan away, so I never get to see it. So those are the things that I enjoy.
Yeah, when you see all of that, they I don't know if you noticed, but after every win, Coach Jay gets them together for a group picture. Well, the last two group pictures, I wish I would have had it ready so we could put it up on the screen. But the last two group pictures, off to the left side of the picture, there are two people holding one of the players or I don't one of the staff upside down with their legs in the air. And the first one, he had a sign up between his legs. And this last one, I couldn't zoom in enough to see what he had, but they're having fun and it's so great to see. And I love the goofiness of that. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Softball gets really goofy, but baseball, they have a little decorum, but
usually
that went all the way. They had no decorum whatsoever.
Yeah, it was.
They had the rally towels and things, and they did hand out the rally towels, and I saw some people shaking it. But if you're a Wildcat fan and you haven't been to a baseball game, baseball's slow, but it's your Wildcats, and they're in the Super Regional. So what happens if they win and they go on?
So after Supers, they get to go to the World Series. So and that's in Omaha, and then they will play the winner of another Super Regional. And if I can take a second, I've got it here.
Okay.
So right now, it's Arizona and Ole Miss playing.
Okay.
East Carolina and Vanderbilt are playing.
Okay.
So the winner of the Arizona Ole Miss and the East Carolina Vanderbilt will go to the World Series and play each other. So
it's not a whole nother tournament.
No, it's all set to go in.
You're in the Final Four.
So right now we're in the 16. So right now we're in the Final 16.
Oh, Final 16.
It's Final 16.
Yeah.
And then it'll go down to 8.
Yeah.
And then 4, and then 2.
And
and right now there's only 2 Pac-12 teams in there.
I know everybody dropped out, right? UCLA.
Yeah, everybody lost. Yeah, so it's Stanford and Arizona. But
Stanford pulled out a win because they were behind.
So check this out, though.
Okay.
So if Stanford wins, and they beat their first opponent at the World Series, and Arizona wins and they beat their first opponent at the World Series, guess who plays each other?
Oh no!
Yep.
Like women's basketball. We ended up playing. Arizona played. Worse things could happen. Yeah. And Arizona played Stanford in the women's basketball national championship.
Yeah. So this would end up
close to winning.
This would be. They would play each other in the Final Four. The Final Four. If everything works out, they would play each other to see who would be playing for the national championship.
Coach Johnson knows what he's doing.
He does. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Those wins, eke some of these wins out, but the players surprise me, but it's really exciting. I'm so glad that they're doing well, and I hope they just keep going and going. So. Oh, me too. Well, and I love baseball, and I love watching it, and I love Arizona baseball. I love the Mariners too, but the gloves have an A, the helmets have an A, the mound has an A. I'm telling my daughters, They're both Wildcats. I was look at all the A's; they're everywhere, you know. And
everywhere.
the Super Regional is still at Arizona, so you know we have home field advantage, I guess. Speaking of championships, we've got some former Wildcats in the NBA trying to make it to the championship. And so what's really fun is Aaron Gordon is playing for Denver Nuggets, who just had their center Jokic just got MVP of the NBA regular season. He's the first person from his part of the world. He's the first person that's in his position, I believe. There's a lot of firsts. The first Denver Nugget. And then on the flip side, on the Suns, we have DeAndre Ayton, who is showing everybody he's not a bust. And I don't think Dallas is still in it, right? They're out.
The Mavericks. I don't. You know what? I don't know.
Yeah, Green is on that team, but I think he's. I'm trying to figure out how many Wildcats are left.
Well, my Trailblazers lost, so
Blazers are out, so no Rondé. The Sixers are gone.
I cried.
I know the Lakers are gone. That's my team. But let me talk about not a bust Ayton. So when he played the Lakers, here's his stats. The first game, 16 rebounds, 21 points. The second game, 10 rebounds, 22 points. The third game, 11 rebounds, 22 points. The fourth game, 17 rebounds, 14 points. Then he had 7 points and 3 points. So those last two games weren't that meaningful. But the latest game against Denver, 10 rebounds, 20 points. Guy's a double-double machine.
But he didn't deserve to be a first round pick.
He didn't?
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. You know, being sarcastic here.
Oh, you're being sarcastic. Well, you know, the top round draft picks always get to the worst teams. Look at, Derek Williams. He got drafted and went to one of the worst teams. You know, it's what happens. It took Aaron Gordon a number of years to get even noticed, and he got noticed from a dunk contest. But now he's an integral part of the Denver Nuggets. He plays a lot for them. But he's not like the star of the team, but he's a big part of the team. So that's an exciting. So right now, Phoenix won the first game, and yes. So there's we'll see. Where everybody thinks Denver's now out of it, but Phoenix, they have the chemistry going. I don't like Chris Paul, but he's got everybody going, and he's doing a good job faking a lot of things. But I'm just love Devin Booker. I think he's totally underrated. There's a lot of players on that team. It's very underrated. And so we wish both of them good luck.
Yep. It's the DA versus the AG show.
Right. DA versus AG. But we enjoy it when our alumni, do special things. And so I've been watching Khalil. He's been working out with the Philadelphia Eagles. So
yeah, I've been keeping up on his Twitter and watching him. Yeah,
he's very positive.
Yeah,
and then somebody just got. Oh gosh, I forgot the name. Just got a job with the Lions, and no one knows who he is. I'll get it for you. In the meantime, when it comes to Arizona football, I'm just so excited to see Chuck Cecil and Ricky Hundley having the time of their lives.
They are
just contagious. The players are excited. The coaches are excited. Jeff Fish is doing such a good job, and to hire somebody who just has wanted to do this their whole life and finally got the option to do, to do it in college. And so he's got all these former NFL players training up these college players. So now they're going to learn and be ready to go for the NFL, whereas in the past, it hasn't really been like that.
It's very true. You know what I love? I love the energy and the camaraderie that Jed Fish has brought in. Now, he didn't just bring it to the football program. He has brought it to the athletic department. he is bringing together all of the head coaches. You do not see one win from a different program at Arizona that Jed Fish hasn't tweeted about. That winning is contagious, he is just as excited for every program in our athletics department as he is for football. And I think Coach Barnes probably said it best, where she said that he himself came in and has just brought the enthusiasm for each other, for the other head coaches back to the programs.
I'll take
and
that.
back to the department. Yeah. And nobody has better Twitter skills than Coach Fish.
I love that too.
Nobody.
I love that. And also, bringing in the alumni and having Teddy Bruschi be a part of the whole thing. And, and I hope, and I saw, Coach Lloyd from basketball. I saw him at the baseball game. So he's following suit, which is fantastic. I want to see how he relates to the alumni, though. I've talked to a few, and he hasn't reached out to them, and so I'm waiting to see that. But
he's definitely still getting his.
He's trying to get together.
Yeah, right, and that's his biggest thing is as people have transferred out, trying to get and he's kind of where Miller was there for a while, where you're just trying to get transfers. Trying to build a team off of transfers for a while until he can actually get out there and really start recruiting.
Yeah, it's good to France, and he got Omar Bala, who I was able to interview. Connected with him before I connected with him during the through a mutual friend during the NCAA championship, and he didn't even see the court. So he's very excited to come play for Coach Lloyd. Coach Lloyd did recruit him. He's from Mali, and I connected him with Mo Tangara, who's a former Arizona player from Mali, and both of them are putting camps on this summer. Talking about camps, we neglected to say it's the first summer camp that Jed Fish is putting on. You reminded me of that.
Yeah, and they've got, I think the last count I saw was over 1,000 campers coming, and football program is so excited about it.
Wow!
They're almost as excited as their new weight room.
Yeah, I was going to say weight room. Oh my God, they were running around.
Yeah,
they branded it. It's personal and be a pro and all that stuff. I think it's fantastic. I'm feeling very well, and also with Coach Lloyd, I wrote an article in Zona Zealots this week about what's going on with these Blue Bud schools. Coach K resigned last week. This will be his last year, and I think he's feeling the heat because it also came out that Zion Williamson was proven that he got money from Adidas. We all know Marvin Bagley got money from Nike. His squeaky clean persona may not be as squeaky clean as we know it. So I think the new set of coaches that are coming up, including our coach, they have a chance to run clean programs in this ever-changing world of college basketball. But I think just everything's changing right now. And, I think Coach K feels the heat. I think he would go as long as he could. Lute Olson was going to go as long as he could. I just think they would go as long as they could. And you got he self-incriminated himself, but he got a 10-year contract. And then you've got UNC coach, he retired.
Yep.
They're all, who's left? Calipari has a lifetime contract. He's squeaky clean too, right? Yeah. So anyway, I guess my point is there's a new era coming in with name and likeness, new Pac-12 commissioner. We haven't heard much about him recently.
No, I did see a tweet the other day from him that said, last day of my old job, looking forward to the first day of my new job. So it sounds like just this last week, he's just starting. So
okay. So moving
Yes.
to San Francisco. So not cutting costs by moving out of San Francisco.
That still chaps my behind so bad.
Move to Phoenix, move to Tucson, move to
Come on, move anywhere other than
Oregon, you know? Move
San
to,
Francisco, where the cost is astronomical. Come on.
it's a beautiful office with a studio. I've been there. I love it. It's wonderful. But yeah, I mean, if I want to stay, when I go to Pac-12 Media Days, it's like I can't find a hotel under $300 a night. I
Nope.
tried to find Airbnb. When you add all the other crap into it, it's more money.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
move.
Yeah.
Save
They
money.
should be in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Go to Las Vegas. I get that UNLV isn't in the Pac. I get that, there isn't a team from the Pac there, but that's where our Pac championships are. That's where all of our basketball games are.
He's leaving.
That's where I know they're moving the football championship there.
Right.
Go there. Stay there because that's where he's from.
Well, I think Vegas is, I think this guy, people say he doesn't have the background, but no, he's a deal maker. So I think we need a deal maker. And I'm positive about it. I think he needs to look at all the officiating, and he gets that. He said that he's going to be paying attention to the game times and to get more focus for recruiting because people don't want to come because the Pac-12 doesn't get a whole lot of people in the NFL. So
Pac-12 after dark,
right?
We don't want Pac-12 after dark. We want to be right where the rest of them are. We don't want people on the East Coast to have to stay up till 2:00 in the morning to watch a stinking game.
Yeah, and everybody at ESPN's in Connecticut. They're not staying up. They're just not staying up. And then when they do catch a game, it's really exciting, So
as you said, we have the referees need to be way better if we're going to get some better times because honestly, some of those games were so horribly called that I'm like, it's a dang good thing that it's Pac-12 after dark because you don't want anybody to see this.
That's right. You don't want anybody to see that crap.
No.
Well, on that note, this has been really fun, Lori. I'm really looking forward to doing more of this, and we'll keep everybody up to speed on baseball. But we want to see your tushes. We want to see you tag In the Front Row LA on your tweets out of High Corbett Field, and
Absolutely.
You can find Lori on Twitter at Lori Burkhart, and me, I'm at Sports Crazy with 2 E's. And we also have In the Front Row, and we'll be posting this and other videos. In the Front Row has a history of interviewing Arizona Wildcats. So if you go to the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/In the Front Row, you'll see all kinds of interviews from alumni and incoming players as well. And it's just really fun. So I'm excited.
Me too. I'm really excited to get this off the ground. And everybody get out to High Corbett or the Juice Box.
The Juice Box.
And make sure that you yell loud and proud for those Wildcats. Right.
Good luck to them. I'll be cheering from LA.
All right.
Thank you, Lori.
All
right.
Thank you, Sheree. And bear down, everybody.
Bear down.